Alright guys, so my attempt to vlog for the week failed miserably. I had a problem just even getting it started because I needed to work this week and the kids' schedule, as I said in the last vlog, has just become so crazy busy. There's just, every day we're doing something. Yeah, let's just do take two. This is the vlog. This is kind of something a little bit different than what I've ever done. I debated whether or not I wanted to share this in a video or on my YouTube channel, but I feel like I would be not my true self if I didn't share this. With that being said, I am on my way to Pico MD. I'm getting some filler done. They had a special running last month, and yeah, I bought a syringe full of filler. I feel like I don't owe anyone an explanation of why I want to get filler in my lips done, but I'm gonna give you a few reasons of why, just because I think it might be helpful to people who know me and might be surprised that I'm doing this. But I've always said that I'm not opposed to cosmetic surgery. Obviously, I've had my breasts done. I did not document my breast augmentation when I had it done, just because I didn't want to make videos about it just to like get views. I did a video a long time ago, just kind of the reasons why I did my breast augmentation. For those of you who didn't see that, basically the shorthand version of it is that after I donated eggs, my boobs completely just depleted of like just everything. I was a solid like full, like, well, I was like a small B cup. And then after I was on all the hormones and the drugs and all of that for 7 months, they were just non-existent. Like my nipples became like inverted. And yeah, I was done having babies of my own. I was in a really good place health-wise. My endometriosis was under control. I was 25 or 26 or 27. I don't even know. It was like 6 years ago or something. But I just felt like I was an adult, and if I was gonna do it, I should be able to do it. So I did that. But anyways, I didn't document that because I didn't, again, want to glorify that kind of procedure for views and money and whatnot. Well, now, moving to today, I'm on my way to go get lip filler, and I don't want to glorify this as a, ooh, watch me come get lip filler video. But I do want to kind of share this and tell you guys why I'm doing it and where I'm going and kind of the process for those of you who are like me, who aren't necessarily out to look like the Kardashians or the Jenners or even some of the other celebrities who have done the cosmetic surgery stuff or, you know, procedures in a more natural way, but are just kind of maybe middle-aged moms in the Midwest like me who just need something because either there's a discomfort or maybe you're slightly aging, or, you know, whatever your reason, or maybe you just want to try it. So I've been wanting to get lip filler done for a couple years now. I have chronically dry, chapped, cracking lips, and it's been this way for years now. I will say it's been worse since I hit my 30s. Everything seems to be getting worse since I hit my 30s. And it doesn't matter if I use medicated chapstick or lip balms, or I grease my lips up before I go to bed, or if I drink a ton of water, it does not matter. I constantly have just like chapped lips. I have heard from many people, and I've read some articles that say that sometimes for some people, lip filler can help produce more hydration in the lips because of the hyaluronic acid that's in it. The science behind it makes sense kind of in my brain. I mean, obviously it might not work for that, so this is just kind of a crapshoot type of thing. But I've just been thinking about it so long that I just want to try it so I can get it out of my system, so I can stop wondering, I can stop thinking about it, and hopefully just like have a happy, hydrated mouth. For those of you asking, like, why does it matter if you have chapped lips? So on top of having like chronically dry chapped lips, I am a chronic picker. I've talked about this before. If you know me in person, you know I have scars all over my legs. I even have scars on my face and my arms. Like, I just pick, and I'm trying really hard not to be that way. I don't think it's something I can fully control, but I'm trying really hard. But when you're somebody who has chronically chapped lips that are constantly flaking and you're a picker, it's not a good combination. So what's been happening for years now is that I will pick at my lips so much that I will either get sores on them or they'll start bleeding and then just be really painful. So that's why I'm going and doing this. Again, I don't need to explain this to you guys. I don't even need to have some type of like medical or physical reason to do this other than like to be prettier. Like, people don't need those reasons. They can do whatever they want. I can do whatever I want. But for those of you who are wondering, this is why I'm doing it. Wasn't allowed to have any caffeine this morning, so I'm a little bit like jumpy and anxious because I'm tired and I wanted to have caffeine this morning. I've been drinking a lot of water. I got some Arnica things that I've been taking for like bruising and swelling. If I have to say like what I'm most nervous about, I think I'm just really nervous about the fact that like, I don't mind needles. I'm really good at like getting shots or my blood drawn or things like that. But my lips are, I mean, that's a very soft tissue. So I have watched some videos and the videos made me more scared. But I'm a little bit concerned about the pain. That does hang over my head a little bit. And I am afraid of having an allergic reaction. But again, like, I take a risk getting in the car, just driving to work. I take a risk every single time I eat meat. I take a risk every single time I get an ear piercing or a tattoo. So I am nervous. There are things I'm nervous about, but I just need to do it. Like, it's just one of those things where I just feel like I'm 35 and I want to just do the things that I like am curious about doing so that I can say I did it and they get it out of my system. And I know that sounds so stupid when it comes to like cosmetic procedures, but to be completely honest, like, these are the things I wonder about. So that's what we're doing. For people who want to know how much money I spent, I'll be honest with you, because I always wonder too, and it pisses me off when places just don't flat out tell you how much something's gonna cost. It really ticks me off when people do that. And it ticks me off when influencers do that too, because it makes it seem like it's so attainable until you actually go and make an appointment and you realize, oh, these mother effers are like spending a ton of money on this stuff and I can't afford it. I spent $575 on one syringe. The deal going on was that it was $75 off a syringe for the month of April. So if I purchased like right then. So that's what I did, is I got a $75 discount. So normally it's like $600 something for one full syringe. And then of course with inflation, inflation of the lips, inflation on the money, it could be more later on, so don't quote me at this, but this is how much I paid for this syringe. And I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore because I'm so nervous that I feel like I'm just talking out of nervousness, because this is what I do. Yeah, all right, okay. This numbing cream tastes really gross. I just spoke to Megan. She's the one who's doing my injections today. I asked her a bunch of questions. This office is very nice, very fancy. Oh, ooh, that tastes really bad. Ugh, ugh. Numbing cream is gonna sit for a few minutes and then hopefully that'll help with the pain. But she said I could film, so this is what my lips look like before. Actually, they look a little bit bigger since the numbing creams were put on, but we'll see what they look like after. Okay, it's been a couple minutes and I just went to the bathroom and my entire mouth is now numb. Like, the inside of my mouth is numb and I feel like I'm drooling.
I will kind of adjust your, like, the positioning of the head too. So I'll kind of have you like up and down a little bit, but I think to start, let's see.
This is Megan.
No.
Alright. It's normal for my throat to be numb?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to lay back?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, so we're just wiping the numbing off, and we'll clean your lips here.
Well, that's a weird feeling.
Yes. Do they feel huge?
Yes. I had to look. I had to look in the mirror, and I was like, they don't look any big. I mean, they look a little bit bigger, but yeah.
Yes. So that numbing actually dilates your muscles a little bit, so that's a very normal response. Okay. But that will wear off over the next couple hours.
That's like those like bee sting lip glosses that just.
Yeah, so where it kind of gives you that little tingle.
Yeah.
Little zing. Okay. So we're gonna use a little.
Well, this doesn't have that peppermint fun taste to it.
No.
Oh, wow, that is really weird.
Like, you can feel something's going on.
I can't. But... like, my lips like, nope.
Right?
Don't try to move yourself.
So this is just freeing the skin of any bacteria before we start the injections.
Okay.
Okay.
can always tell when I'm nervous during procedures because I talk a lot, so I apologize.
Oh,
in
you're
advance.
fine. No, you're good. Do you want anything to squeeze?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Do you have any questions before we get going?
This one, like, so I'm on my period. Is that an issue?
It's not an issue.
Okay.
I find that some women may be a little more like sensitive.
Okay.
That's
of course.
So you may, yeah.
Of course.
But it's definitely okay.
It's fine. This is like the only weekend I didn't have to work, so I was like, I tried actually calling in at the beginning of the week. I was like, maybe I should change it because I'm supposed to be on my period.
Yeah.
But then you guys didn't have any other openings, and I was like, well, I have to work the next 2 months, so better just get it over with.
No, you're good. All right, so we're gonna start with your upper lip, okay?
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay. How's it feeling? Are you feeling much of it?
Not really.
You feel pretty numb?
Yeah.
Good.
I also had 2 kids without drugs, so if I really think about it, it's not bad.
Yeah. I feel like this is nothing compared to that, right? Okay, we're gonna move you down a little bit here.
It's more odd because I feel like I have zero control over my lips right now.
Yeah.
Like that's the more
Like, I can't tell
unsettling
what they're
feeling.
doing.
Yeah, is I literally don't know what's happening. This is what they look like. They look so good. This will all calm down as the swelling goes down. They're not going to be this big. They're swollen, but my shape is all still there, and already they look plumper. We'll see moisture-wise what happens. It's very strange. My lips and mouth are still numb, so I don't even feel like I'm using my mouth in the correct way. All right, guys, so we're in day 2 of my healing process. This is what my lips are looking like right now. I am getting some bruising over here and over here and over here and over here, and that's to be expected because those are actually the more painful parts. There's Kaya. Of getting this done. Kaya knows about this. I've been completely open and honest with my kids about it just because A, they noticed immediately that my lips were a little bit bigger when I got home, and also I was really tired yesterday. In regards to everything, I wanted to like wait to talk about everything just to make sure like I didn't end up in the emergency room with some type of allergic reaction before I talk more. So, sorry, I have arnica pellets in my mouth. I've been taking arnica, which is a homeopathic kind of like herbal thing. I've been taking it since the night before my injections just so that way it helps with bruising and stuff like that preventatively, and also some of the swelling. So the process itself was it was really tolerable. When she went in to do everything, she was very calm about it. She talked me through it. It wasn't super painful. If anything, these ones, like I said, were bruised right there and here were the most painful. The ones that were kind of going in here were a little bit painful, but not as bad. It was honestly just where you see that bruising was the most painful. I've been avoiding straws. I slept with my head kind of upright last night, and I tried really hard not to sleep on either side. I'm not allowed to kiss John for another 24 hours just because it's too much pressure there. What else? Oh, I'm not allowed to exercise for still another day, which is fine. But honestly, so far, it's not bad. Anything, they do feel really good, and I don't know even how to explain it. Moisture-wise, my lips would be cracking right now. You can see a little bit, but they would be 1,000 times worse right now because I just woke up, and for some reason, even though I drink a ton of water and I usually put lip product on, they're usually really, really dry when I wake up. And as you can see, I don't have any cracking, which is what I normally have. So I don't know if that's just like because I just had them done or what, but if that is the case, like I'm super excited that this is working. We're in day 3 of my healing process. Okay, so looking at my lips, they are bigger than they were before. I especially noticed the bottom lip is a lot bigger than before. I think it'll keep going down. I will say I woke up this morning feeling like my lip didn't hurt as much, like tender to touch down here and on here and here. Woke up this morning just kind of feeling better though. Like my lip, I felt like I can tell the swelling on the inside of my mouth has gone down because just kind of doing that motion was easier. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like I woke up and I was like, oh, okay, like my lips are feeling back to normal. I think they look great though. Like if I'm being completely honest, it's taking me a little bit of time to get used to the fact that my lips are a little bit more full. The top one I don't notice as much. It's just that bottom one. Yeah, I do like them a lot. I think it'll look a lot different too when I actually have makeup on. It's just strange because it's not the same as it was 3 days ago. But yeah, they look great though. I mean, she did an amazing job. Okay guys, so we are in it's Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're day 4. I do feel like the bruising right there and there and there and there is getting like darker but better. I am wearing a little bit of tinted moisturizer just because I'm trying to hide some of these because I have to go to work in a few minutes. Not terrible though. They feel a lot better. There's less pain in my bottom lip, but there's still some pain. Like if I push my lips together too much, they definitely still feel bruised. I do have a little swelling right here. All right, guys, so it is Tuesday. What are we, 5 days out? This is the way my lips are looking. I think I love them, which kind of makes me sad. As you know, I got my lips done for the hydration reasons because the hyaluronic acid, you know, I'm aging, whatever, my lips have thinned a little bit since I got older, and then they've dehydrated quite a bit since I've gotten older. And with that being said, the whole possibly having more volume and looking a certain way was like the last reason I got them, you know, and that was just out of curiosity. And so I'm a little bit sad that I like them so much, because now I feel like there's like another reason why I'll want to possibly redo them down the road, which, you know, I'm not against repeated cosmetic procedures, but it's expensive. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I told you guys this was $500, well, $570 something, and that was on sale. It'll be interesting to see how long they last, because they can last anywhere between 6 to 12 months. It depends, or even less. It just depends on your metabolism, which I have a pretty high metabolism. My hair grows super fast, my nails go super fast. I can, you know, I do have to exercise to keep the weight off, but for the most part, I think for a woman of my age with 3 children, I have a pretty high metabolism still. So they could wear off sooner. But yeah, I do actually really like them. Nobody noticed at work yesterday, either that or they were being super nice. I mean, our office manager, I told her what I was doing last Friday just because they tried to get me to work on Friday, and I was just like, can't. Nobody said anything yesterday. I felt a little bit self-conscious at the beginning of the morning, but then I was like, oh, nobody's saying anything, so why does it even matter? Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't get this done and then go to like a fancy party or a work event or a wedding by any means, but it's pretty minimal downtime. Pain-wise, I don't really feel any pain. I mean, they are still tender to touch down here. Up here, I don't really feel anything. They feel back to normal. Oh, wait, never mind. That's a sensitive spot. I can feel that it's like softer over here and firmer right here, which that's where it's kind of more lifted outside of my natural lip line. So I don't know if I think that hopefully is just still swelling because it does feel tender. Down here, it's pretty soft. Again, it's just still tender sorry, my dogs are going insane. They're just a little bit still tender and bruised, but for the most part, they feel normal. I gave John a few kisses the other day, and he likes them, let's just say that. He couldn't tell a difference I mean, I really grilled him. You know, husbands, you're like, do you like them? Can you tell a difference? I feel like they lie just to like save our feelings, but I grilled him hard last night because I was just like, listen, if you want me to not get these done again and spend the money, then you need to be honest with me right now if you don't like them. But he said that he couldn't tell a difference, but yeah, my kids say that I look normal again, which is nice. And I don't know, that's my update. I just got to Pico MD for my follow-up. It has been exactly 2 weeks since I had my injections done. I stopped updating as much because really nothing was happening. And yeah, you guys basically saw the check-ins of when my lips were really, 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 really big. I would say they settled down to where they are now about 4 or 5 days after my injections. I'll have to look back at my footage, but it was less than a week when I felt like, okay, my lips don't look weird anymore. They didn't even look weird. If I'm being honest, I kind of miss how a little bit the extra fullness that the swollenness gave me. Like there was this sweet spot that I think on day 4 I was at that I was like, ooh, I like this, and then they kind of deflated a little bit more, unswelled. I'm at day 14 and I do like my lips. I like the way that they look. The issue I'm having though now, and I gotta do this really quick because I gotta go in and talk to Megan about this, is if you see this little bump right here on this side, so I can feel 2 lumps, like hard lumps inside my lip here, one over here, and then you can see a little one right here, and that's a hard lump too. And I was looking back at footage, and that is where she injected me, so it's almost like where she put the needle in and filled it. So I'm gonna ask her about that and see if that'll go away. I do have a little bit of lip product on. I will say hydration-wise, holy cow, I can tell a huge difference. It's nice to be able to use normal lip products again, but yeah, we're gonna go in for my follow-up. I have lip number on right now. She's gonna break up some of the hard bumps on the bottom of my lip. She thinks that it's just like deep bruising, so she's gonna break that stuff up. And then I did have like a little visible lump here, which she said is kind of like a filler bubble, and so she's gonna fix that as well. So she's numbing me so that way I'm not feeling too much of it. So I'm excited that I won't feel too much of it, because when I press in there myself, it kind of hurts, and it would make sense if it's a bruise. I look ridiculous. Like basically I look like this right now, which just is such a cute little ice pack. So I got a little ice pack this time, just because last time my lips hurt so bad afterwards. Well, not so bad, they're just tender and the swelling, so I had to work in a couple hours. Yeah, I had to work in a couple hours, so luckily I can just wear a face mask and nobody will think anything of it. I'm not embarrassed that I got my lips done. I mean, everybody knows. But with that being said, I don't want as much swelling as last time. So I didn't know if I could ice them last time. I totally forgot to ask her. So this is what they look like. They're a little bit obscene, but the thing that was going on was I also had some asymmetry. I think I mentioned that before I went in. So it's more swollen over here because she was poking here more to kind of level out. And then she was trying to fill this area so that that bubble would disappear. So my lips are not gonna look this big. This is not what they're gonna look like. I'm happy, like I said before I walked in there, ooh, that ice actually really helped. I've been really, really happy with the hydration that I've seen from my lips. Like, it's night and day. But in general, I'm licking my lips less, which is awesome. I can tell that this sounds weird, I feel like I'm producing less saliva in my mouth, which is really nice because I tend to kind of like get spit bubbles when I talk for too long, which is like something that I've noticed. She worked out some of those bumps in here. I'm trying to feel them now that my lips aren't as numb. And it definitely helped that massage. So she said in a couple days I can start massaging them more, and if I develop any more, just to massage them, but I'm gonna let them heal and let everything settle. I do have a little bit of filler left in my syringe, so I have that. It's good for like 6 months, so if I need like a touch-up or something, I can use it for that. So I'm really happy though, in general, the reasons why I got this, it's definitely helped with those things, which is the hydration part. So as of right now today, it is May 22nd. It is exactly a month since I got my re-up or refill or touch-up or whatever you want to call it into my lips, and I feel like I can give you an honest opinion of how I feel about everything and if I would do this again. So again, I wanted to make sure my lips were completely healed, and by completely healed, I mean I wanted to make sure there was no more tenderness or bruised feeling or swelling or things like that left in my lips before I kind of did this ending wrap-up part. When I went in to get my first injection, there were some things that kind of surprised me. One being that the numbing gel stuff like numbed my throat and everything inside. And I definitely would suggest like making sure your injector knows if you're really sensitive to pain or needles or things like that, because she, I think, left it on a little bit longer for me and made sure that like I was pretty numb because I was so anxious about kind of what it would feel like to have needles in my lips. Everywhere else I'm fine. I have tons of tattoos. I think I have a pretty high pain tolerance and threshold for certain things. I've had numerous surgeries, like not like cosmetic. I mean, I've had my breast done, but you know, I've had knee surgeries. I've had, you know, a lump removed from my vaginal area while awake. Like, I'm no stranger to like pain and things, but whenever it comes to like my mouth, I get really just scared. And letting Megan know that I think helped. I think she probably maybe applied a little bit more than usual and probably let me sit there and let the numbing cream really set in. It hurt, but it didn't hurt. Like it was painful in certain areas. Like when she went up into these like fattier areas, it was more painful. Any time she was like this, directly down into like these areas, I could feel that a lot more than anything else. Some of them I could hardly feel. It just, again, depended on where she was hitting. After, in regards to like the healing process, I will say I was very, very alarmed after my injections. Like all the things that I Googled online of kind of how you'll feel right after you're injected are totally true. This, like when you get back into your car and it's been a couple minutes and like the swelling starts setting in, I freaked out and panicked. I was like, oh my God, what did I do to my face? Obviously, I started this process because I wanted to just add more moisture to my lips. And so when I got in the car and my lips were like hella swollen, I was very alarmed and was like, good God. Now, I told my kids what I had done, as you saw in those updates, just because I don't hide things from my kids. You know, I want them to have realistic expectations for themselves and for us. And if I just kept looking younger and fuller and whatever, and they just had no clue why, I feel like it's like worse than sharing, like lying on here, because they're my kids and I don't want them to have these unrealistic expectations of, you know, oh, my mom's aging so well, or my mom's lips look so great, why don't mine look like that? I'm genetically related, like what's wrong with me? You know, I want them to know, you know, what's going on with me, so that way I don't want to lie to my kids. So I did tell my kids. Kai immediately was just like, what's wrong with your mouth? She notices everything. You guys know, if you follow me, she just notices everything. And I explained to her, I said, listen, this is what I had done. You know, they're not stupid. They are around, you know, they watch movies, they, you know, whatever. I said, this is what I had done. I had them done because I have cracked lips and a lot of like moisture issues. And she knows that firsthand, because she'll always be like, stop picking your lips. Like my daughter of all people is like, stop picking your lips. Or why is your lip bleeding? Or what happened to your mouth? You know, when I get the like really bloody crackness. And so, you know, she understood that aspect. And I did say a little bit was because I was curious about what my lips would look like. It is a cosmetic procedure, and I just made sure to talk to her and say, like, you're beautiful how you are. I know I'm beautiful how I am, but I'm an adult and I'm making this decision, and so on, so on, so on. And there's a safe way of doing things and a healthy way of doing things. So, you know, she noticed immediately. Ava didn't really notice. She's my 17-year-old. I can't tell if she noticed her or not. I don't think she did. I don't think she noticed, but she also doesn't notice a lot of things about me unless they're obvious. So I don't think the swelling was obvious enough for her. Wyatt didn't notice. John actually, when he saw me in person later that day, was kind of like, they look fuller, but it's really not that noticeable. So, and that's what a lot of you guys said too on Instagram when I shared kind of my lips initially. So she put, I believe, a full syringe. Yeah, she used the whole syringe in my lips the first time. I was a little bit surprised. I was thinking, okay, she's only going to do half. But, you know, as I talked to her kind of about my goals of like, okay, I don't want like overfilled lips, but I do want, you know, a little bit of plumpness, like wouldn't be the worst thing, but really I'm just doing this for, you know, hydration. I still only thought that like maybe a half a syringe would be all that we would use. But again, I told her like, you do what you think is right. This is just what I want to look like. Like, I just want to look like myself still, but if it's a little bit more plump, it's not the end of the world. So she used the whole syringe. But the bruising went away pretty quickly. I am kind of relieved that we're kind of still in the era of masking, because I figured if I had to go back to work and the bruising was really, really bad, I would just wear a mask. But I honestly don't even think I wore a mask to work. I don't think anyone noticed. I did, however, hack some bangs into my head. The day before I had to go to work, I just like, actually I think it was the morning I had to go to work, I like did some fringe bangs and cut some more layers and trying to distract the fact that I had bruised lips. And my boss actually came up to me and kind of looked at me in the hallway and was like, did you do something to your hair? I was like, yeah, I cut bangs. He's like, oh, okay, I thought something was different. But he never commented on my lips. The girls that I work with, I had already told them what I was doing. So anyways, I didn't really care. Like what is going on? I didn't, whatever. I didn't really care who knew because again, I'm being super public with all this stuff. I'm not going to try to hide, you know, what I do to my body or my face. Like I don't care. Rather people know because again, I don't like lying to people, whether it's, you know, not like, I don't know. I just don't like lying to people. And I don't care if other people don't want to talk about their procedures that they get done or whatever, but that's just not me. I want to be as authentic as possible with people. Even if everything isn't natural, I still want to be authentic about what is me and what is, you know, what's real about me. So my next follow-up appointment was 2 weeks after my initial injection. I made the appointment before I left the office. And that was just to kind of come back and make sure everything was healing properly and looked right and all of that. And as I got into my second week of healing after my initial appointment, I did notice that I had some like hard spots in my lips. So over here, like on the inside right here, and over here on the inside right here, I have some like, they feel like hard nodules, like little, like smaller than a pea size, but like in my lips, like they just feel firmer than everything else. And then I had a little bit of a bubble on my lip up here. And so I did bring those up at my follow-up. I was like, you know, what's going on? You can't see down here, but the little bubble up here you can see. And she basically just said that like sometimes the filler can like almost like build up in one area, not absorb as quickly or as well as the other parts. So in regards to up here, she added more filler into the lip, just kind of like cover that up and even it out. I do notice it pop out every once in a while, but it's really not that noticeable and I don't really care. The hard little things in here, she said that was more like deep bruising, and I believe her just because I have a tendency to overproduce scar tissue and all of that stuff. If something weird like that's gonna happen, it's gonna be me. That's just how my body is. So she basically did like a deep massage after she numbed my lips to try to like break up some of that bruising. And I will say it helped. But the little bumps are still in there. I can feel them every once in a while. At night though, I have been like massaging them myself and trying to break them up, but honestly, it's not that big of a deal. But those are things that I did notice. You know, one of the things when I went in to get filler done, the questions I had was, will my lips still feel like my lips? You know, will I feel the filler? Like I can feel my implants. Like I can feel them. There's like not a day goes by that I'm like, oh, okay, I can feel something. Whether it's I try to lay on my stomach or if I really start poking and prodding underneath things, you can kind of feel like an outline. I mean, if you're just kind of feeling them, it's not really noticeable, but like again, like I know that they're there and I'm groping myself in front of you all. Sorry. I know that they're there. My husband says like he doesn't really feel anything or notice anything, but I really was paranoid about my lips. I'm like, okay, these are things that are on my face that I'm like eating with and drinking with and kissing with and whatever. Like I feel these things all the time. So I was really concerned about feeling them. And what I will say is you can feel a difference. At least for me, I can feel a difference. I can feel that there's something in here. It's firmer. And when I'm touching it, I'm like, it's not as soft as my natural lips, but just around here at the top, which is fine because John says they feel great and whatever, and whatever. But I myself, I can tell that there's something in there. It's not like annoying, however, and it's not something that I think about all the time. The only things that I think about are those little hard spots in my lips, and again, that's just because that's the way I think my body just responded to the needles and whatever. During my second follow-up, I did have to buy another syringe. I will say, cost-wise, getting filler is not cheap. I don't know how people afford to get all the cosmetic procedures that they do. God bless them, because if I was getting a lot of different things done, I couldn't afford it. And yeah, I'll just leave that there. It's more than you think it will be. I think my biggest piece of advice for people considering filler is that you need to and should expect to spend more than you think you will. Again, I was not expecting to use a full syringe at my first appointment. I thought we'll use half now, half later. That was not the case for me, as I mentioned. She used the whole syringe the first time. And so the second one, lips were still a little bit uneven because they are naturally asymmetrical. And because I had that little filler bubble here, I did want to fix that, so I had to buy a whole nother syringe. She didn't pressure me into doing that. I don't think it was to the fault of her at all. It's just the way my lips are, and you kind of have to expect that because all bodies are different, and yeah. So when it comes to budgeting for filler, definitely budget for twice as much that you think you're gonna pay for, and then if you don't have to pay for that, great, but if you do, then you're at least ready. So after she put the other half of the syringe in during my follow-up, everything looked so good. This time I used an ice pack, which helped a lot. I will say, if you ice after, use arnica. My healing time and swelling time was so much better, and it didn't hurt as much the second time around. I don't know if I was just used to it or maybe more calm, but it didn't hurt as much the second time around. And again, the bruising subsided and wasn't as bad the second time, and the swelling wasn't as bad and whatever, and went away faster than the second time. And honestly, the overall healing was a lot quicker after the second time. Now, as I'm a month out, I will say that finally my lips feel like my lips, as in there's no like tenderness when I press on them. I do still feel, like I said, I can feel that there's something in there. I mean, it's definitely a different firmness than the rest of my lips. In regards to how they've been working for the main reason I got them done, which was for moisture and all of that, holy cow, for me, it's worked so well. I've had very little cracked lip and peeling, and it's usually more of like that dead skin just sloughing off that every once in a while I'm like, oh, and then I'll peel it off. But instead of like 5 layers coming off and like bleeding happening, I don't have that at all. I'm not waking up with instant dry cracked lips. I'm able to use my favorite like drugstore lip products again. Again, also gave me this youthful lip replenisher by Revision Skincare. They sell this at their place at Pico MD. This stuff is amazing. I don't like wearing it during the day because it's a little bit thick and my hair gets stuck into it and it's a little bit too shiny for my liking, but I wear it at night and it just makes my lips feel so plump. But I don't even need this anymore. I was using that in the beginning when my lips were still getting situated with the filler in it, but now my lips are just always, they just feel good. And instead of needing lip balm for moisture, I'm really just using lip balm for color. So my favorite lip balm, as you guys know, this is the Maybelline Baby Lips. If you can find this one, this is called 01 My Pink. So I like to say that this is a good dupe for the Dior Lip Glow. I used to wear the Dior Lip Glow all the time, but I got sick of spending, I think it was like $28 or 30 bucks for a chapstick. And basically the idea is that it turns your lips into like your perfect pink because it works with like your body heat or something, or I don't know. Well, Baby Lips came out with their own version and it's amazing, and it's like $2 at Walmart. So as you can see, my lips are super symmetrical right now. You can kind of see that little filler bubble that I was talking about. It's right there. It's not super noticeable, and I do notice that some days it's more noticeable than other days, but my lips just look really good. I feel like they look natural. They have the same shape as they did before I got my initial injections done. This is what my lips look like, and they're so good. I hate that they're so good because it's just like, again, I don't want to feel forced, or not forced, but I don't want to feel like I need to keep getting this done. But in regards to just my everyday comfort level, it's been really, really nice. My lips have just felt really good, and it's one less thing that I've been really upset about. I don't know if any of this is making sense. Again, I'm very, 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 very uncomfortable even making videos like this. There's a reason why I did not record a video of when I got my breasts done. You know, I was at the height of probably my viewership when I got my breasts done 6-7 years ago, but I didn't want to record it because I get really scared to share cosmetic procedures with the world. Not because I'm embarrassed, because again, everyone in my personal life, and if anyone asks me, I would tell them straight up, no, these are not mine naturally, no, these are not mine naturally. I mean, they are, but they aren't, you know? But I would tell people because it's just, that's who I am. I get really uncomfortable sharing this information on my channel just because I don't want people to feel like it's necessary to get cosmetic procedures done. If that's what makes them happy, if they can afford to do it, if that is something that they really want, by all means. it's not my place to tell people when or when they shouldn't, or how they should or how they shouldn't. But I don't want to be that encouraging factor either. I don't want somebody to look at me and say, I want to look like that, you know, or to be happy like her, I need to have my boobs done. I need to get my lips done. Because I will tell you from the bottom of my heart, in all honesty, that getting my breasts done and now having my lips done did not bring me like the happiness that I truly have right now. I had a lot of low points after I had my breasts done. I had a lot of body image issues even after my breasts were done. You know, I went into getting my lips done in a very good place in my life. I was happy, you know. This and this did not change my family's life, my life really, like, in regards to like the everyday nuisances of, oh, I can't find a shirt that fits me well, or oh, I don't like the way my boobs look today, or my lips, sure. But in regards to like my success as as working, you know, my career, they have nothing to do with that. In regards to how much my husband loves me or the marriage that I have, they have nothing to do with that. The fact that, you know, I feel like I'm a pretty good parent, these have nothing to do with that. My house that I have, these had nothing to do with that. You know, like, I just want people to know that, like, when I went into getting my breasts done, when I went into getting my lips done, it was with a clear mind of, I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy in general. I'm healthy. And these are just things that I want these are just things that I want. For whatever reason. I mean, I have this inner dialogue all the time in my brain of like, what's right, what's wrong, what should I do, what shouldn't I do, always feeling like I'm making the wrong decision. And I think you just have to stop and do what's best for yourself and do them for the right reasons, not for somebody else, and not go into debt over it. Like, I hate when I see that. You know, I paid cash for I made sure I could afford this, and that it was something that wasn't taking away from something else. I don't know. I don't know what the right thing is ever to do, even for myself, let alone for my viewership. So I really have a hard time sharing this stuff because I just don't want people to feel like they need it. But I do want to share my honest opinion because I don't think that there are enough of those out there. And I just want to show the honest truth behind it. It's expensive. It is something that can get addictive. I see why it can get addictive. And it's something that does have its risks with it. Like I said, I have some like bumps now in my lips that, even though I don't think there's anything wrong with them and I don't think they'll cause any further issue, they are still something that happened because of the lip filler that I didn't have before. Same with my breasts. I have a huge scar right here that obviously I think is more of the surgeon's fault that I went to, so always do your research and don't cheap out on that. But yeah, my breasts aren't perfect. One's bigger than the other, one sits higher than the other, but that's fine. That's every person has asymmetry, and that is okay. And I want to look as natural as possible while also having a little bit of enhancement, so the little asymmetry is not gonna kill me. But yeah, just take everything I'm saying with just that. This is my experience. This is my experience, and yeah, this is my experience. So now here's the question of, would I do this again? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I think after I go in for my 6 month, I think I'm gonna plan to go in around September, October to use the rest of my syringe and see how that goes. I don't know. If my body metabolizes the filler too fast, I don't think I will continue getting it done, just because I don't think I can afford to keep getting it done. There are a lot of things that I need to start saving for and doing. You know, we have a tree in our backyard that's gonna cost like $5,000 to cut down. The oldest is going to college next year. Not this coming year, but the next year. Cost-wise, I don't know if I can keep up with what I regularly should, according to, you know, filler schedules, but we'll see. If my lips and the like hydration last a full 6 months, I think I can in my brain say, okay, that's not too much, but if it's every 3 months, definitely, I don't think I can do it. It's just gonna cost too much and I don't feel okay doing that. But again, we'll see. But I will say that I don't know how people, and this is another thing, there's no judgment, other than not understanding how people can afford all of these types of procedures, I am curious at how people can find the time for all of them. Because I will say each one of my visits has been like a full hour, which is fine. But then you have the downtime of right afterwards. I felt tired after each one. It's not like I just jumped up and like went and did the things I normally do. Like I was tired. And then again, the next couple days after, you know, being conscious of not using straws and then not exercising, you know, or lifting super heavy things, or, you know, there's a little tiny bit of downtime, whether you want to admit it or not. Your lips are not 100% the next day or the next day or the next day. I say there's at least 4 days where you're like conscious about them. So I don't really know where people find this time, but I don't know. It's just like one more thing added to my schedule, which I'm a super busy person as it is. So yeah, there's money involved and there's a regular like upkeep that's involved that you have to kind of think about. I mean, I haven't gotten my hair cut professionally in over a year and a half, almost 2 years. So I don't know, but yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm still on the fence and undecided of whether or not I will continue these fillers, but I do really like the outcome. I will say there is a little bit of fear of getting too much done regularly because I don't want to get that like super puffiness up here that some people get that I see, like that duck lip look. I don't ever want that. Like I'm very conscious about that and I'm constantly like kind of doing this. I don't know if it helps or not, but I do this every once in a while to make sure like the filler stays where it's supposed to stay, which is in here, not up here. But there is a fear that I have that if I continue getting this done regularly, that'll start happening. But so far, I think it looks fine. Crossing fingers. But I think that also has to do with your injector and how experienced they are. So I would highly suggest Pico MD, especially Megan, she's a nurse practitioner there. I would highly suggest them for any of your procedures that you may be considering. They offer a plethora of things. There's a lot of skincare stuff that they do that I've kind of been interested in. They do hair removal, which, oh my god, I've always wanted hair removal on my armpits and my bikini line. I don't even care about my legs. It's literally my armpits and bikini line that drive me insane, which I would consider getting laser hair removal for, but they do that there too. I believe they're starting to do microblading as well, and they of course do plastic surgery as well, which if I ever needed a revision, I mean at some point I'm gonna have to cross the bridge of what am I doing with my boobs, whether I take them out or, you know, have them redone in the future. I don't know. I'm not gonna think about it right now, but I will probably go there when it is time to deal with my breastal area, breasts. But yeah, I would highly suggest their office. They're awesome. It's a really nice and clean place and they make you feel really welcome, and they're really good at answering questions, whether it's on social media, over the phone, email, all that stuff. So yeah, I would highly suggest them. And I think their prices are very competitive and reasonable compared to the rest of the places around town. But yeah. That's it. I hope this answered questions. I don't know. I feel like I probably created more questions. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to leave those below. I did pay for all of the services that were provided to me. This was not a sponsored video. Megan did give me this lip product, however, for free, and I did take advantage of their discounts. They constantly have deals going, which is what kind of spurred my final like commitment to getting this done. In regards to future procedures, I don't know. I've always joked about, you know, dabbling in Botox at some point for my TMJ, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I never want to say no, I won't ever do something, because then I usually do it and then I look like a liar. But I don't know. I want to age gracefully, but if I change any of those things or I decide to do something else, you guys know you'll be one of the first people to hear about it. Again, if you have any questions, leave them below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, where I kind of update on stuff like this constantly, feel free to do that. And I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Bye.